2018 Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet Review. The good points of Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet. Svelte looks, excellent cabin quality. AMG C43 performance. Economy from the C220D. The bad points of Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet. Uncomfortable rear seats. Manual gearbox best avoided. AMG handling less than scratch. Since its launch in 2015, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet has generated itself as one from the go-to open-topped alternatives for all those who are acquired classy looks, 4 seats, along with a strong image. The range received a facelift in 2018. As such, it offers few direct rivals. However, its primary two will be the Audi A5 Cabriolet as well as the BMW 4 Series convertible. The second, unlike the C-Class Cabriolet, incorporates a folding hardtop, instead of a fabric roof. Some buyers could also consider the Range Rover Evoque convertible, but not many inside the UK, judging looking at the scarcity on the highway. The 2018 facelift sees the appealing styling and interior obtain most minimal of makeovers, with new LED headlamps, reprofiles back and front bumpers, with an all-new optional 12.3-inch digital instrument pack to enhance its separated widescreen infotainment screen. Mercedes C-Class Cabrio, soft top with practicality. Styling-wise, the Cabriolet mirrors the Mercedes-Benz C-Class Coupe. So, its sleekness is preserved by virtue with the folding fabric soft top, which concertinas more elegantly compared to the rival 3-piece hardtop from BMW, robbing less boot space in the act. Not that you simply buy a 4-seater convertible if practicality's your chief requirement. However, with the roof raise there is certainly up to 360 litres of boot capacity, shrinking to 285 litres if the soft top's stowed away into your well behind the rear seats. While the cabin essentially apes the opposite C-Classes, both the seats inside rear would be better suited to children. They feel firm, with upright backrests, while head and elbow room are acceptable for adults. Headroom, roof up, is in a premium. Updated engines for 2018 Mercedes C-Class Cabrio. Following the 2018 facelift, there was an adjustment on the model's engine range. So, there's an array of power plants, however the UK market doesn't receive these. The main difference between your Cabrio and saloon could be that the entry-level C200D is just not available. In essence, the lineup mirrors the coupe, and that means you can 2 petrols, C200 and C300, 1 diesel, C220D, as well as a lineup of AMG performance models, which from launch comprise from the C43 AMG 4MATIC, and you will be joined later in 2018 because of the impressive C63 AMG. For real performance, you must look with the Mercedes-AMG C-Class Cabriolets. As a halfway house there's the C43 4MATIC, which has a 390 horsepower 3.0-litre V6 petrol, but also for the ultimate performance the C63 and C63S Cabriolets, which is due for UK launch late in 2018. Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabrio, good quality, well equipped. One disadvantage in convertible driving isn't a lot wind in your hair, it's when trying to blow your hair off. Back in 2010 in the event the current E-Class Cabriolet was revealed, it featured a novel concept called air cap to cut back the blusteriness that makes an appearance within the C-Class Cabriolet. It's a 2-part device involving a spoiler which rises from your top edge from the windscreen plus an air deflector behind the rear seats that elevates. For those at the start it's quite effective, an increase in wind noise being the penalty. On the downside it's an eyesore and benefits those within the rear negligibly. Discontinued engines inside C-Class Cabrio. Pre-facelift models no more on sale at the C220D and C250D powered because of the venerable 2.1-litre engine in 170 horsepower and 204 horsepower geysers. The new C220D is usually a 2.0-litre that develops 194 horsepower. The old C200 has been superseded using a mild hybrid featuring EcoBoost for 194 horsepower, as well as the NC300 remains. However, its power has become upgraded from 245 horsepower to 255 horsepower. The verdict: the cabriolet is well made, employing good quality materials and offering similarly impressive ride and handling on the C-Class coupe. The Mercedes-AMG C43 features much more equipment along with a host of sporty touches to aid justify its expensive. We think this car is proper up there using the best to use class. In the rarefied marketplace for this type of convertible, the C-Class is really a particularly good fist of things. It just lacks that last amount of driving precision you obtain in a BMW 4 Series, or perhaps the quiet, efficient quality interior associated with an Audi A5. That said, it is the best in the three if you prefer comfort over precision. Watch the whole Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet review how good this new soft top is. 2 diesels as well as a pair of petrols from launch. Duo of AMG powerful models, 2. None of those could be described as slow. What you need your Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet to get will determine which engine you decide on, and therefore how much performance is being offered, but relax knowing none of those are slow. There are, however, varying numbers of speed and drama the further within the range you're going. Duo of diesels expected to get most popular. Whether you end up picking the C220D and the brisker C250D, are both powered because of the same 2.1-litre diesel motor, tuned differently to vary performance. Producing 170 horsepower, the C220D musters 400 Nm of torque from just 1,400 revolutions per minute, rendering it a flexible unit. A 6-speed manual could be the standard transmission, that has a 9-speed automatic being the optional, and preferable, gearbox. Both reach 143 miles per hour, whilst the manual completes the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in 8.3 seconds. Choose the auto and it'll shave another tenth of your second off. Stick to 17-inch wheels plus the manual model may be the most efficient from the range with claims of 62.8 miles per gallon and 116 grams/km of CO2. Automatic versions could be upspec'd further with all the addition with the 4MATIC 4-wheel drive system. Top speed drops to 140 miles per hour. Nevertheless, the 0 to 62 miles per hour is edged as a result of 8.1 seconds. The stronger C250D is automatic only and delivers 204 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque at 1,600 revolutions per minute towards the rear wheels. That power increase is telling, having a top speed of 153 miles per hour and simply 7.2 seconds forced to reach 62 miles per hour from the standstill. It too is flexible and intensely linear, rolling around in its delivery, which makes it a sensible choice. It doesn't even sound as agricultural because it does in other models, a definite plus when the rooftop's down. As a regular choice, this is our pick from the range. 2 petrols inside the regular range. 2 petrol engines are offered from the mainstream C-Class Cabriolet range, both which has a 2.0-litre turbocharged motor with assorted settings to make alternate power outputs. Kicking things off will be the C200, serving up 184 horsepower and 300 Nm of torque with a diesel-like 1,200 revolutions per minute. While the 6-speed manual version tops 147 miles per hour, those fitted using the 9-speed automatic are 1 mile per hour shy of these. The tables turn with the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprints. The manual takes 8.2 seconds, to your automatic's 7.8. There's a large leap for the C300, which develops 245 horsepower and 370 Nm of torque from 1,300 revolutions per minute. It's automatic only and takes 6.4 seconds to braze from 0 to 62 miles per hour, returning to an electronically governed 155 miles per hour top speed. Mercedes-AMG models for powerful. There's an important performance advantage for that C43 4MATIC Cabriolet, because of its turbocharged 3.0-litre V6 petrol engine, mustering 367 horsepower and 520 Nm of torque from 2,000 revolutions per minute. Once again, a 9-speed automatic gearbox will be the only transmission because of this four-wheel drive model. It too reaches the limited 155 mph top speed easily, accelerating from 0 to 62 mph in 4.8 seconds. While that's quick, AMG's become synonymous with rumbling V8s along with the hammer-blow performance that goes hand in hand from it. Still, badge C63, a twin-turbo 4.0-litre V8 is beneath the bonnet, now, which has a pair of power bulges, generating 476 horsepower and 650 Nm of torque from 1,750 revolutions per minute, sending power exclusively for the rear wheels by way of a 7-speed twin-clutch automatic box. That means 155 mph, limited, and stand still to 62 mph in 4.2 seconds, with almost no turbo lag, mainly because it goes about its business. Want more? Then you will need the C63S, featuring a similar engine these days, producing 510 horsepower and 700 Nm of torque. That 0 to 62 mph times shaved as a result of 4.1 seconds. Nevertheless, the colossal grunts administered, which has a monumental soundtrack from your four tailpipes, proof indeed that turbocharged engines will make the hairs with your neck persevere. If going quickly, and being entertained, is exactly what you need, then place your hard-earned money here. Fine mixture of comfort and sportiness. AMG's are docile, savage when provoked. Superior traction with 4MATIC models. As per the coupe derivative, the handling in the Mercedes-Benz C-Class cabriolet range leans towards a sportier setup because of employing 15mm lower suspension than that from the saloon and estate versions. The inherent firmness with the lower derangement is much more apparent about the standard suspension, but Mercedes' optional Airmatic package allows that being dialed out or amplified depending on your own preferences, because of its adaptive nature. Flick between comfort, sport and sport plus modes, or in much more hardcore race setting for the C63 models, to vary not simply the adaptive dampers, and also steering weight, throttle response and exactly how watchily the automatic transmission swap ratios. Typical of other Mercedes models, the C-Class cabriolet's steering, such as AMG versions, is light at low speeds but weights up inside a progressive, linear fashion as pace and wheel angle increase. We wouldn't mind an increase from the degree of feel for the helm, though. All C-Class cabriolets display a pleasing penetration of sportiness, although we noticed a penetration of body flex over poor road surfaces. This isn't an issue inside the regular versions. Nevertheless, the hardcore C63 and C63S models suffer just a little in this regard, being noticeably less predictable through corners compared to the coupe. That said, the feeling is amplified immeasurably by hearing the popping and gargling on the V8's exhaust with no roof suffocating the sound, but it really is a correct sports car that can light up its rear tires and rotate itself through corners, the secret differential metering out your colossal power inside the most effective manner. Joyous. Familiar C-Class dashboard for your cabriolet. Well assembled, high-quality materials. Sports front seats distributed to coupe. Park your convertible with the rooftop down and you'll want the inner to look as glamorous because the bodywork. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class cabriolet's cabin doesn't disappoint, that's despite it being distributed to other C-Class body styles as well as being the GLC SUV. It's an elegant, swoopy affair, tripped by circular rear vents to get a classic, in lieu of retro, touch. There is little to sully its former side on the fixed tablet-style multimedia display seems like something connected with an afterthought the way it does Atlanta divorce attorney's Mercedes in which it features. Some might find the silver-painted switchgear a tad gauche, but overall it's a sophisticated cabin, having a variety of trim appliques based upon the trim level to amplify the dashboard. The matte-finished wood looks particularly contemporary. Not all on the interior plastics or with the squidgy soft touch variety buyers seemingly crave right now, but it really is nearly impossible to find many aspects that feel distinctly down-market, save for your removable cup holder separators beneath the dashboard lid, a little touch in the Waitrose world. Controlling the multimedia system requires deft use with the rotary controller, and that is reasonably easy to arrive at grips with but less intuitive than BMW's iDrive. The instrumentation is obvious and unambiguous and could be complemented by an optional, and superb, head-up display projected on the windscreen. We're particularly fond in the neat integration with the Burmester subwoofer that's intended for extra cost. We've experienced it in countless Mercedes cars now, nonetheless it sounds great, and also the door speakers finishing adds a particular element of premium to your proceedings. Settling to a comfortable driving position is not hard. The identical supportive sports seats with integral headrests, additionally featuring the air scarf system from the cabriolet, ensuring you complete each journey ache-free. Air cap reduces wind buffeting but looks ugly. Adaptive suspension boosts ride comfort. Spacious for just a 4-seater convertible. Several cars claim that they can alchemize comfort and road holding, but few achieve it towards the same or higher level success since the Mercedes-Benz C-Class cabriolet. Even the rightest Mercedes-AMG C63 versions could be made to provide a fairly compliant ride quality thanks for the optional Airmatic adaptive suspension system, an attribute we would recommend for any on the cabriolet range. With the faster versions the ride can get just a little choppy on some poorly surfaced motorways, though. This won't annoy the driving force too much, but passengers could possibly be reluctant to travel for a lot of hours. It's a spacious cabin for 4 adults, particularly at the start, with electrically adjustable seats, many featuring substantial side bolstering. Those from the rear are fine when they're of no taller than average height. While almost no one can have much to complain about, rear seat leg and elbow room, headroom while using soft top erected are at a premium. Useful provided that you've a tendency to develop a cricked neck. The seats themselves are a bit unforgiving inside the padding department and possess near vertical backrests. Open the cabriolet approximately the elements, and also the sky's literally the limit for headspace, but adults in the rear instead endure wind buffeting, with or without the air cap system raised. It's thoroughly effective for front seat passengers, even though the aerofoil deployed on the top with the windscreen does generate wind noise. Roof up, it's satisfyingly quiet inside cabin, due to its snug fit and well-insulated lining. Most with the exterior noise you hear pertains to airflow disturbances throughout the door mirrors and tire roar on especially smooth roads. Naturally, the cabin's comfort-enhancing amenities include dual-zone climate control, heated front seats along with the familiar air scarf system where heat is blown out in the seats to envelop front seat passengers' necks. Good equipment levels as standard. AMG line and a couple of packs available. Plenty for being added at extra expense. There's one equipment level offered by launch about the C-Class, AMG line, along having a long list of optional extras to personalize your car or truck. C-Class Cabriolet AMG line. 18-inch grey alloy wheels. AMG body styling with sportier front and back bumpers and side skirts. Alternative radiator grille and front bumper. Sports foot brake, sports suspension and sports steering setup. Sports pedals in brushed metal. AMG sports seats. Flat-bottomed leader. Buyers can create standard specification of AMG line trims by opting to the Premium or Premium Plus equipment lines. Premium adds 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, 64-color ambient lighting, common online infotainment upgrade with 3D mapping for that sat-nav, online services with traffic and weather information, voice control, SD card slots as well as USB ports. Midline head unit. Multi-beam LED intelligent light system. Wireless phone charging. Premium Plus adds much more on top of Premium. 360-degree cameras. Burmester surround audio system. Keyless entry and ignition and automatic tailgate. Panoramic glass sunroof. The Mercedes-AMG C43 4MATIC is essentially based around the AMG line trim when it comes to look, but comes exclusively using a 3.0-litre V6 engine, as well as the following differences over AMG line. 18-inch alloy wheels. Bi-turbo 4MATIC badging. Black mirror housings. AMG specific radiator grille with double louvers and AMG lettering. Red contrast stitching to your sports seats. AMG lettering on door sills. Red seat belts. High gloss black and aluminium interior trim. Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet optional extras. There's an array of optional extras available with the C-Class Cabriolet, a few of which are more desirable than the others. One of particular interest could be the driving assistance package, which adds active blind spot assist, monitors the automobile's blind spot and alerts the motorist of any vehicle's inside blind spot. Active lane keeping assist, warns the trucker if they will veer out on the lane, and may intervene should you drift within the line without indicating to help keep you in correct lane. Buzz Plus with cross-traffic assist, applies extra braking force if the motorist isn't applying enough, as well as the car detects a possible incident. Distronic Plus, adaptive cruise control with steering assist and prevent and go function in queuing traffic. Pre-safe brake with pedestrian detection, autonomous emergency braking. Pre-safe Plus, detects a rear-end collision and prepares the auto by putting on hazard lights, tensioning the seat belts and closing the windows, sunroof. Other options add a range of paint schemes, interior trims and alloys. You can order a tow bar, a 360-degree reversing camera to cars without premium or premium plus lines, a head-up display, a system to hold the cabin smelling nice, in addition to Airmatic air suspension, memory function for the electric front seats and full leather upholstery. A secure car. Lots of ordinary kit. More designed for extra cash. When it turned out tested beneath the auspices of Euro NCAP in 2017, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet scored an outstanding 5-star rating, identical to your saloon. One area or worry was that inside the crash simulations rear seat occupants were consideration to have their heads come into contact with the top mechanism due towards the airbag not sufficiently extending to cushion the impact. Even entry-level designs include LED lights back and front add 7 airbags, which has an e-bag for your driver and window bags which pop out in the upper door casings. Additional rollover protection is provided courtesy of the strengthened windscreen surround and pyrotechnically powered rollover hoops which deploy from behind the trunk seats from the event that the automobile overturns. Other standard safety gear includes attention assist which monitors the motorist for telltale indications of drowsiness and collision prevention assist plus which autonomously brakes the vehicle if it senses an impending collision that the motorist doesn't often respond to. Among the optional safety kit is often a driver assistance package including blind spot warning and adaptive cruise control, as the head-up display, HUD, product is an object of clarity and worthy of spending extra on. Reasonably sized boot to get a 4-seater. Adult size seats in the trunk. Roof might be operated at approximately 31 miles per hour. Practicality is unlikely being your primary concern should you're considering a 4-seater convertible. However, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class Cabriolet supplies a few flexible touches for if the need occasionally arises. There is often a decent number of cabin space for 4 adults, rear headroom with the top up notwithstanding, plus a sensible volume of storage cubbies back and front. Cup holders from the front reside behind the flip-up panel to your base on the center console, in addition to another storage area and also a 12-volt electrical socket. It's convenient but spoils the aesthetics on the dashboard when open. Access towards the C-Class Cabriolet's boot is awkward due for the narrow aperture, a problem exacerbated because of the flexible well the hood folds onto, limiting cargo space much more open mode. Roof in the C-Class offers around 360 liters of space, dropping to your maximum of 285 liters once the hood's concertinaed away. This compares with 360 litres with the Audi A5 Cabriolet and 370 litres for your BMW 4 Series convertible. Best in class, although nowhere close to as premium as being the others, may be the Vauxhall Cascada at 380 litres. That Range Rover of a convertible. Roof up or down, it only offers 251 litres of boot space. Should you may need to carry longer, slender items, think skis, then the back backrest fold over, having a 50 hours 50 minutes split. As befitting the C-Class Cabriolet, its fabric soft top is fully electric. The one aspect of its use which requires your hand to control anything will be the rocker plunge to raise or lower it. Conveniently, it operates at speeds of around 31 miles per hour, which makes it easy to dodge rain showers at urban speeds. Unfortunately, however, it requires 24 seconds to work, when some cars undertake it in under 10 seconds. The C-Class Cabriolet isn't an arduous car to gain access to most garages, but there's an optional automatic parking system which enables things a whole lot easier.